Hey there, everybody. My name is Ryan Schul. Welcome to my data science channel. Started this thing back on, what was this, August 8th, 2024. We're about a little over 170 days into the project here, into my self-declared sort of goal to create 365 videos in 365 days. I'm pretty much on par with where I need to be, maybe one behind, one or two, but pretty close. Um, so yeah, here we are with another data science video. Some of these are somewhat related to data science, some are a little bit off topic, but try to keep it pretty relevant. Even the ones that kind of deviate a little bit from the main um, course of action here, really there's a good reason for that, and I explain it in all the videos. So this one is directly on point with traditional data science. We're going to look at two types of charts today, a tree map and a scatter plot. And the goal is to import historical stock price information from a bunch of tickers that we have in a list. I have a list of tickers right here. You can tell it's a list because it has square brackets. Right, here's the opening bracket, here's the closing, and you have comma separated ticker symbols. This is um, basically all the Dow 30 components. I might have one extra. I think these are all Dow 30. So that is the input here, okay? And we're basically going to we're actually going to import the data from Yahoo Finance, okay? That's why I have this library right here, Yahoo Finance, as YF. There's the abbreviation. You can call this whatever you want. You can spell it out if you don't want to use the alias right there. And we're going to look at different ranges of returns from 1 day to 1 week and 1 month of returns. And we're also going to pull in some data relevant to the sector and the industry that all of these companies operate in. So this is Apple, this is technology, Microsoft technology, Amazon. I think that's identified as technology. It could be consumer goods or something like that. It's kind of like on the fence. They're on the border of a couple different industries, right? So that's what we're going to look at. Now we're going to create tree maps, which is a rectangular plot, and the size of the plot or size of each rectangle is representative of the value or the size. In this case, the size of the returns, and the size of the rectangle could be anything. It could be your sales for different businesses in different states across the United States, sales across different countries around the world, anything like that. Like the perimeter or the size and the volume of the rectangle is proportional to the metric that you're measuring, right? In this case, it's going to be stock returns, but it could be anything that you're looking at, right? And the color of the rectangle should represent something about what is being told based on that rectangle. So in this case, it's going to be stock returns. Positive return is going to be green. Negative return is going to be red. But it's up to you to choose the color scheme and the pattern that you want to use to communicate the story that you're trying to get out to your stakeholders and your shareholders and so on and so forth. And we're also going to take a look at a scatter plot. These can be very useful to look at XY items on the x-axis being a horizontal, the y-axis is a vertical, right? And to show the relationship between all the items based on the x and y positioning on the screen, and to visualize it in a way that communicates a message that should be intuitive and very straightforward to the end user. Okay, so if the chart kind of pops and jumps off the screen at you, and people look at that and say it's very visually appealing, and I understand the message quickly and easily, that's mission accomplished. Okay, you did what you had to do. If somebody is looking at your chart and they're very confused or bewildered and they just have no idea what's going on, that chart is basically useless, right? You want to answer questions for a user quickly and easily. You don't want to generate a whole bunch of questions because your chart is confusing, okay? We don't want to go in that direction, but I've seen it happen many times, so let's try to avoid that. So I'll show you exactly what to do today to sidestep that kind of outcome, okay? So we have all our tickers in a list here. I'm going to go back in time 3 months. So we are looking at 3 different cuts of data here, the 1 day, the 1 week, and the 1 month. I would say don't go back 1 month. If you set this to 1, you could have an issue. You're going back just 1 month and you might not have enough data to calculate a 1 month return, okay? So in the stock market, you don't look at 1 month as 30 days or 28 or 29 or 31. You look at it as 22 because you have Saturday and Sunday off. You usually have 4 Saturdays and Sundays per per month. So if you have 30 minus 8, that would be 22. Basically, some days have 31. Some days like February have 28, right? So you might see like a little bit shorter. But anyways, you want to make sure that you have enough data to cover the area that you need to cover here. So 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month, it's good to go back 3 months. Okay, in this case, 3 is totally fine. You can go back further, but if you're only looking back for your chart for 1 month, really probably 2 months is fine. Don't do 1 month because it could just hit the cutoff if it's a shorter month like February, or if you have a holiday like, okay, we had January 1st was off for January. It's January 30th right now, so we could have like 21 days of data or something like that. It's just not enough to cover 1 month. So we want to go a little bit beyond just to give a little buffer for safety, okay? So you don't have to worry about all this code. We're importing data from Yahoo Finance. We're getting historical stock returns, okay, based on these tickers. I said, give me all the returns for all these guys right here and go back in time 3 months relative to today. This is date time now. So this is the current time. The start is basically current date time and end is now plus 1 day. So I want to capture today. So I'm going to get, let's see, January 30th, 2025. It's 3:51 p.m. The market closes at 4. I don't necessarily want to wait for the market to close to get my update. I want to get the data today because if I could look on Yahoo Finance right now, let me shrink this down a little bit. This is actually bleeding into my next video right here. Let me just separate that just a little bit. If I go to Yahoo Finance, finance.yahoo.com, it comes up because I go here all the time. So if that's the first time you use it, you might have to type it out, Apple AAPL. So we will see the current price of Apple because Yahoo Finance puts it out for us in real time. It's updated constantly throughout the day from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 4:01. Sometimes they cut it off at 4:01. So you can see the ticker is updating right here. 238.53, down from the open 0.92, 0.41%. So this is the dollar down, right? This is the relative change from yesterday. And you can see the updating in real time. So I want to capture that. That's why I have plus 1 day over here. And then we're going back in time 3 months. Okay, so start and we're getting enough time to do the analysis, but we're just going to look at 1 month as you'll see in a minute. So let me hit Control Enter to refresh this. You can see it's compiling here the code and spitting out the results. So this is great. Okay, and let me see. I can cut that out. That was some experiment I was doing earlier. I don't need that right now. The extra line, a little bit easier to read visually. So we pulled in all the data, and this is what it looks like today. Okay, so we see 130, 238. This is Apple. That's what you see right there. 238.2, 238.2. So pretty much like right on par with where we need to be. And I'm going to go ahead and take this data frame and reshape it just a little bit and get this in a proper state so it's easy to work with for our plotting and charting, which is going to be in just a couple of steps here. I assign a date just in case it doesn't come in as a date. I saw this happen once, so I put a little condition here. If not, if column 0 is not date, just assign a date. If it's already a date, then just assign it and rename that as date. If it's already a date, which it should be, but I saw one case where it wasn't. So we're adding a little test here just to make the code run smoother. Okay, and we'll refresh that. And we're going to go ahead and shift back in time. This is like a lag in SQL Server. It's called a lag. And Pandas world and Python world is shift back 1. This is shift back 5. So we're going back 5 days. And this is shift 22. So remember, a week is not 7 days. And the stock market, a week is 5 days. And 22 is 1 month. It is not 30 days or 28 or 31 or something like that. It's actually 22 days because you take out the Saturdays and Sundays. And if there's a holiday, you remove that. So on average, it's 22 days. This is a week and this is a day. Obviously, this is a day. So a day in the stock market and a day in the calendar that we use is just 1 day. So that's that, right? So we are going to go ahead and create a data frame with these 3 columns that I'm going to utilize for the chart in just a moment. You'll see how that works. So here's the original data frame. We take it and reshape it into the percent difference and 1 week percent difference and 1 month percent difference. Okay, so you can see here, this is Apple, and we can see the change over time. I'm looking at the think the head of the data. Yep, head. And if you looked at the tail, you could see the other side of that as well. I could show you the tail too, just for fun here, or for peace of mind, whatever you want to do. So this is the most recent 130. This is the Dow rate. If we go to Dow 41.04, DOW, oops. Okay, enter 41.04. We should see that or something pretty close. 38.47. Oh, it's down a little bit. Okay. Okay. I think something wasn't updated correctly, but I think we're pretty much where we need to be. It seems like something is off just a little bit. Current. Oh, here it is. Current. Yeah. 38.39. And that's what we see here. Okay. Yeah, so it's right. So we see the date, the ticker, the last, the current, and price difference. That's a 1 day difference. Here's the 1 week and the 1 month. So everything looks like it is shaping up just like we would expect it to. And by the way, you don't have to memorize all this code. Don't be taking notes, please. I'm going to share the code with you. You can do this at your leisure later tonight, tomorrow, over the weekend. It doesn't matter. When you have some free time, get in here, explore this, try to figure out what's going on. Okay, again, this is going back 5 days. This is going back 1 day. And I put some notes in here too, right? Yesterday's price, 1 week ago, 1 month ago. So take your time and step through this at your leisure. I'm not going to go through everything because some of my videos turn out to be pretty extensive, and they went up to 40, 50 minutes in one case, almost 60, in one case actually over 60 minutes. The feedback I got was the videos was too long. And if I can save my time and save your time, that would behoove everybody, all right? It's in the best interest of everybody if we keep it short, tight, crisp, and right to the point. And you can take all your time you want and go through it. If you understand this fairly well, great. That's great. Good for you. Some people may not. They can take longer. I'm not going to take longer for everybody because it's going to work to the detriment of some people, right? So you have the code. I'm going to share it with you. Do that on your own time. I'm just showing you the concept and how everything works comprehensively here. So we have date, ticker, last, current, 1 day difference, 1 week, and 1 month. And you can see over here, let me take one example. So what's up? IBM is up quite a bit. That was up today. I didn't check the news, but it did jump up quite a bit from yesterday. That's a 1 day difference. So it's up 13%. If we look at IBM over here, where are you? 13%. So since yesterday, 13%. If I go over here, I should see essentially the same thing, right? IBM. And we are looking at 12.8%. So just about, that's flipping around a little bit, right? So this is going to be off just a tad, but it's pretty close, guys. This is right where we want to be. 1 week is 14%. Most of the gain came from the open today. It opened up 13% over the close yesterday. And the 1 month is just about the same. So this one really jumps off. The biggest loser here is the Dow, down 6%. So if we look at Dow, down 6%, okay, that's the 1 day, 6.46. So this is the 1 day positive and negative. You see green is good. Most of these are actually negative. Look at that. We have a lot of negatives. This is for the 1 day. And this is your standard bar chart over here, okay? So if you go PX up bar, this is a Plotly bar. Again, I'm not going to go into all the details. Look at Plotly Express when you have a chance. You can Google it, www.plotly bar, Plotly bar chart. And you'll see lots of good examples. This is where I get my ideas from. So I just Google it, go over here, see what they say to do, and just follow the instructions. So this is very easy here. Here's the data. Data Canada is a data frame. That's what you feed in. The data, the column for year is the horizontal. You can see in the bottom here is the year, and the vertical is population. And you can see, pretty obvious, right? All you have is 3 variables here. You have the X variable, the Y, and then the data source. That's your data frame that you feed in, and that's it. And you have the chart, right? So it's pretty straightforward to use this. This is a stacked bar chart or long format, okay? You take everything and condense it from a wide format to a long format, which has just a couple of columns. Everything gets stacked on top of each other. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, Google it. Here's Y data frame, okay? So you have nation, gold, silver, bronze, spread out wide, but you're taking these 3 columns and condensing them into a stacked bar chart. So kind of the same thing. So that's how that works, okay? So we have a bar chart here, and you can see the outcome here. So IBM is up and Dow is down. This is the 1 day return. Let's refresh this view. So this is where we start to get into the The gains and losses, again, IBM is the clear winner here. Dow is down 6.4%, 6.47, Microsoft 6.09, Caterpillar 4.61. So everything in red here is down. All of these are slightly up. This is only up 18.18%, so 18/100ths of a percent. This is 32, half of a percent, half 1%. Honeywell, this is Boeing. So you can see some small positive gains here. IBM is clearly the winner. And one thing to note here is when you're doing this, Treemaps don't support negative values. You can't plot negative, right? A negative is like subtracting, you're taking away. You can't plot something that like is negative. It doesn't exist really in a tree map world, but you can take a value, convert that to absolute value, and then take the size of the gain. Again, that becomes the size of the rectangle, like I said before. So the size of the gain here in IBM is 13%. So it creates a nice little rectangle for us relative to that size. Here, the Dow is actually down 6.4%, but you can't plot negative, so you have to convert the negative to a positive, but then just tell the chart, okay, this is actually negative, so make it red, and this is a positive, so we don't have to handle it any special way. There's no extra treatment. It just knows this is positive. This is negative, but you can't plot negative, so you convert to positive to get the rectangle, and then you say it's negative, so just paint this red or make it a red tint, and this is a green tint, okay? So that's how that works. Now, if we get into something a little bit more elaborate, let me refresh this. Again, I'll share all the code so you don't have to take notes and worry about all the details here. We have a negative down because it's in red. All these in red are down. All the ups are in green. Amazon is down. 1 day change, so 0.96%. If we go back here, we should see exactly the same thing for Amazon. AMZN 0.96 negative, right? So it's exactly what we'd expect. And the 1 week, 2.6 or 0.26 negative, 3.4 positive. 0.26 negative, 3.4 positive, okay, for Amazon. If we go down here, 1 week Amazon is 0.26. Where is it? Small. No, it's Amgen. Where's my Amazon? It's tiny, man. Can't even see it here. Amazon 0.26 negative. And if I go to the 1 month change, should be positive over here somewhere. Amazon, where are you hiding out? There it is, 3.40. Okay, for Amazon, go back over here, Amazon 3.40. So exactly what we'd expect, right? So we have the 1 day, the 1 week, the 1 month, all nice packed in here, pretty tight, pretty well laid out, and pretty intuitive here. So Triple M is up 17.5% for the 1 month, and for the last week, Triple M is up 3.0, so 3.0 for the week. 1 month, 17%. Let's look at that over here, and we see Triple M. Where are you hiding? Where are you at? Over here, Triple M. Okay, 3.03 for the 1 week and 17.5% for the 1 month. Okay, so everything lines up perfect, just like we'd expect. And yeah, so it's doing what we want it to do, right? So I'm going to share the code with you. You can play around with it, do whatever you want. You have the 1 month, the 1 week, and the 1 day. And again, tree maps show the positive and negative values here. Negative is just colored a different color. We can't plot negative, so we have to convert the absolute value to create a positive, but then assign a red color to it or some type of red tint. And I put that in my notes. So let's do one more thing and create, let's see, I think this is the, oh yeah, then we're getting the industry sector and the industry and sectors together and merging that with the original data frame for the stocks. So if you look at the stocks, when this comes in, all you have here is the date, the ticker, and then the last price, the current price. So you have some very basic information, right? If you look here, where is it even coming in? You can see first view, yes, date, ticker, last, current, percent difference. So we're doing some basic math here to get today's price divided by yesterday's price minus 1. We convert that into percent by multiplying by or subtracting 1. You do today divided by yesterday, subtract 1. If it's higher, it's positive. If it's lower, it's negative, right? That's how you get that. And then we will go ahead and merge everything with the industry sector or ticker, okay? So we can get the ticker, again, from Yahoo Finance. It has this information, but doesn't come from the stock prices, right? We have to get this from another area of Yahoo Finance, but we can get the tickers and then merge the tickers together into the original price data frame, right? So that's what we have here. So we have the date, ticker, last current, price difference, 1 week price, and difference, 1 month price. The color is positive or negative, and then we pull in the sector and the industry. Okay, that's where we get it from Yahoo Finance. So you can check that out when you have some free time. You have the sector and the industry, and that is important for creating a tree map. Again, we can add more details to this. Control Enter, so we have the returns. This is the 1 day return. Again, if you feel compelled to do so, you can add in the 1 week and 1 month. I didn't do it. I'm just keeping it kind of simple and straightforward at this level. But you can see you have IBM, you have the, let's see, the parent is technology, and then the sector, let me see here real quick. The sector is like communication services, technology, industrials, technology, basic materials. The industry has a slightly different connotation or different definition. Here you have telecom services, software apps, farm and heavy equipment for Caterpillar, right? That makes sense. Software infrastructure. But this is slightly different. The industry is software applications, and this is a tech company. Here, that's here. Microsoft is technology too, but it's software infrastructure. It's not software application. So hopefully that nuance makes sense. It's slight, but it is meaningful, right? And then, of course, because these are plotly charts, you can zoom in. Everything in the tech sector rolls up to this, right? So it's kind of nice. You have semiconductors, Apple, CRM, Microsoft. So that's a technology sector. And then if you go over here, we might not even have more than one for industry. Oh, wait, maybe. Okay. So here's healthcare. And then we have drug manufacturers and healthcare plans. So here's a good example. This is the healthcare plan, United. Okay, we can go back to here. That's the parent view. This is the child. Here we have drug manufacturer General, and we have the children over here, Merck, Amgen, and Johnson & Johnson. And that's the parent for drug manufacturer. Parent is healthcare. And then the price gain, but because they're all red, they're actually losses, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So just another way to interact with your data, make it more meaningful, make it pop off the page, and make it more interactive. That's why I like these plotly charts. Very intuitive, very easy to work with these things. Then we have this view right here, which is a scatter plot. So a little different from the tree plot that we saw before. Here you have px scatter. So plotly, again, plotly expressed is a scatter plot. You have the data frame, the x, and whoops, sorry, I don't want to mess it up here. You have the x and you have the y. So the x is the count and the average gain or loss. The size is relative to the counts of bubbles in that sector, right? Or cluster. So we're actually doing clustering here. But this is a little bit like, I'll admit, this is a little bit ghetto way to do it. Here's clustering data by average gains and counting. So in the SQL world, you can kind of like count things together, and if they're dissimilar, they aggregate together. It's not like true clustering where you use a k-means. I think I did the clustering over here. K-M-E-A-N-S. No, I didn't. So sorry, I took a shortcut here. I used the count to do this clustering. Like you might want to do like a true k-means clustering here to get like a more of a data science kind of look and feel to this. But if you are counting these and aggregating everything similar to other stocks that fall into this sector, or the gain and loss and the mean, that's how we're getting this. So it's not true clustering, but this is kind of the getaway, kind of the easy, or I'll admit, the lazy way to do it. Okay, so you might want to use k-means, but it still does what it's supposed to do, and I think it communicates the message. If you use k-means, you'll get a similar output, not exactly the same. It might be more refined, a little bit more sophisticated, but it's going to be kind of the same. And here's a takeaway here. So here's energy stocks. There's one. Basic materials is one. We can add these together. We should get about 30. There's 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 3 is 7. Now we can zoom in a little bit. So 4 and 4 is 8. 7 and 8 is 15. Then we have 5. There's 20. And I think if we actually zoom in, I think there's like 2 hidden over here. No? 26. Was there 2 over here? Or something is hiding here, I think, because we should have close to 30. So we have 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I think something might be getting dropped off here. It's okay. It must be way off the chart here because it's not getting picked up. When I did look at this, it looked like it was almost like one was on top of the other one yesterday. So maybe that's what's happening. The returns can be so close that they're overlapping one another. But anyways, when you change the data back and forth, if you do have some overlapping, I guess they could like be superimposed on top of another. You should have about 30 stocks here. Yesterday it was off just by a hair. I think today just accidentally lines up. So anyways, yeah, I don't want to burn too much time here, but that's it. So Treemaps and scatterplots, and we're looking at stock gains using Plotly to do everything. And then we're introducing the sector and the industry for all of these Dow 30 components. Okay, so the takeaway here is Treemap plot will help you quickly grasp relative performance of stocks based on the sector, based on your overall performance. Is it up? Is it down? Up today, down today, from 1 week ago or from 1 month ago. You have all the information at your fingertips. We have the sectors pulled in and the industries, and we can understand the concentration of our portfolio too, right, based on this view right here. So we have good exposure to energy, financial services, I think. Oh no, communications, defense, healthcare, industry, financial service and technology, and then basic materials. So all winners except for basic materials down here, but very good diversification, right? So we can see that the portfolio is pretty well spread around all these different sectors and different industries, right? And the scatter plot is great for showing stock returns based on the industry or sector. We saw that, right? And this helps us visualize return distribution and any outliers. So this is kind of an outlier over here. Basic materials is down 6%. Don't want to be too heavily invested in that, but all the other sectors here are up. So it was a good day. And by the way, this is the 1 day return. The only time we go back, this is 1 day return. The only time we go back further is in this chart where we can choose the 1 day, the 1 week, or the 1 month. All right, so that is that. And feel free to add those into these views if you feel inclined to do that. I've got all the code there. You can pretty much copy and paste that. And the inspiration for all this came from here. I'll share that with you. So don't need that. I think we're done with this guy over here. So let me replace that. I saw this recently. I used this quite a bit in the past and saw this, and this was kind of my motivation for creating this. And you can make it even more dynamic here. We have the technologies over here and the consumer electronics, semiconductors. So you have the industry, the sector, and then all the gains. And this is, I think, looking at the S&P 500. So you have a lot more stuff over here. Mine isn't quite as busy, right? Because we only have 40 components, 30, we got 30. But the look and feel is essentially similar to that. And then you have bubbles over here, though this is where I got the idea for the second chart. Okay, so you can play around with that and add in some annotations. Microsoft shows up here. I don't have the annotations turned on. That's another thing for another day. Okay, I promise to keep these short and tight and crisp going forward, so I'm going to do just that. I'm going to save this code right here and share that with you guys when I post the video a little bit later today, and you can take that and explore the data. Use it as is, make some modifications. The only real changes you really have to do here, we're only just going back in time with the chart 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. So I don't think you have to change that. You can leave that as is. And this is the only thing you have to change, literally, is put in different tickers, run it, and you're good to go with whatever you need to do. Okay, so I'm going to post all the source code here, share that with you guys when I share the video in just a bit. That's it for today. I think we beat this horse to death, and that's it for this one. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.